years.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Greg's Vintage Workshop, where I'm working to restore history one piece at a time. It's been a while since I've actually brought you a radio video per se, but it's not like I haven't been working on them. I've worked on a few, and if you watch my last video that I put up a couple weeks ago, you'll see the ones that I worked on. I actually had another one that I had started on, probably about halfway through it. It's a Zenith G515 clock radio that I got from that same gentleman over in Davenport, Iowa about 5 years ago in a lot of, I don't know, I think I got like 10 radios from him and a couple of old fans. But anyway, I wasn't planning on videoing it just like the other ones, because I figured I'd just kind of whip through it and be done with it. So what I did was I took photos like I usually do throughout the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw those photos in here with a little bit of narrative with them before we actually move on to the motor portion for the clock, which I did do video on that. And then of course the video where I'm going to reassemble it, put it back together again. So without further ado, let's take a look at that. Okay, so in this clip here I am showing this radio what it looked like when I started, which is pretty cruddy, as you can see here. Trying to get most of the angles. Showing the top here, you can see that crack right in the middle. That was a pretty bad crack, as well as like the mold and mildew and whatever that crap is on the front there. Here's a view of the back. It's also showing the top, showing that crack again. These next two shots are showing how the knob was messed over. The center was all gouged out, and on this one the bezel piece behind it, the chrome bezel, was come loose. This shot's showing how one of the bottom legs was broken severely off on it. I gotta figure out how to fix that. This is the inside after I had the back taken off. This is the bottom of the chassis removed, pretty filthy. I replaced the 8040 electrolytic and the .047 paper cap with new on a terminal strip. Dirty clock assembly removed, followed by some cleaned up versions. Here the chassis is removed. You can see how filthy this thing was inside. And then I put it in a sink of water upstairs and started cleaning it up. Here I've made a dam out of clay so I can pour a silicone mold. Removed the mold from the clay and then poured some clear resin into it. I got the razor blade there to make a dam to stop it. I used clear epoxy resin to glue it to the housing. Then I sanded it, put some spot putty on it, sanded it again, and then went ahead and found some paint that matched pretty good and painted it. This is the clock motor, and I've cleaned it, but you can barely even turn the gear at all, and I'm going to attempt to get some lubrication in it by heating it up and putting some sewing machine oil in there. Now if this works right, the sewing machine oil should go in as it cools down, so I'll heat it up and then I'll cool it down, or let it cool down, and as it cools down it should draw some oil into it, and it should blow bubbles as it heats up. so it's letting the air out so it can take the oil in. So I'm going to zoom in and we'll see what we're going to do here. As you can see, I've got the heat gun here. I'm going to apply some heat to it, and then we'll see if it blows bubbles or anything. I'm applying heat. I'm not trying to cook it. I'm trying to get enough heat into it that lets the air out so it can suck some oil back down in its place. There, I think you can see the bubbles coming out of it now. Yeah, lots of bubbles. Lots of bubbles. So just let that, as it bubbles, as it cools down, it should suck some of the oil back down in with it. That's the air escaping. I learned this process from Michael over at ThatU-Tubesound when he did a clock quite a few years ago. I watched his video and we'll see how this goes. So far it looks like it's going exactly like he said. Keep a little bit of oil in there. I mean, there's plenty of oil on it, but it's going to suck it down around the opening of this gear. As it cools down. There's no way the clock would have run because I couldn't even turn that gear with my fingers at all. So we'll see what it does after it gets the oil down inside of it. Okay, so here's this Zenith G515 clock radio as it currently sits. I've already been reassembling it. I've already cleaned it up. There was a big crack right across the top right here. Went from the edge all the way to about right here. And I had super glued that, and I've actually sanded it. You can still see the crack. You'll still see that crack when it's all polished up, but you know what, there's not much I can do with that. I could paint it like I did the bottom, which if you see here, this is the bottom. This is the one that I repaired, and you've seen pictures of that. This is the one I didn't repair. As you see, the paint is pretty much an identical match for it, so it turned out pretty good. It's not 100% exact match, which is why I don't want to paint the rest of it. Since the bottom's not seen, I thought it was fine. The knob was really grimy, very grimy, and I got that all cleaned up pretty good. I mean, it's slightly yellowed. I can't do nothing about that. The center was like shoot out of it. I don't know what was going on there. But I had my daughter cut on her Cricut some chrome vinyl, and first I filled it level with liquid epoxy, and then I put the chrome vinyl on it. The clear portion behind there that actually has the blue line on it, if you can see that, that was really bad, and I got that basically polished up, so it looks pretty good. And I put a new coat of chrome on the Zenith, which I don't know if it was originally chrome or if it was gold because it was worn off. But anyway, I got that done from a housing standpoint. From electrical standpoint, I took the motor out and see if we can get some light down inside there. I had taken the motor out, cleaned it all up, lubricated it. I had the actual component board out, and I cleaned up the tuner capacitor. I replaced the electrolytic capacitor, I think in one resistor, and another small paper cap that was in there as well. Two of the tubes are bad. I tested them. I've got two new tubes. I haven't put them in yet. I still got to put a couple wires on the speaker yet, and obviously the back has to go back on. I'm ready now to start polishing out this top of this thing. I'm not going to make you watch me do polishing. You've seen me do it before. But when I get that polished, I want to come back and put the dial assembly back together again, which I cleaned it up the best I could clean it up. I think it turned out pretty good. And the glass was really screwed up. I took some Novus to it, and I think that turned out pretty good too. So I think that it's going to look pretty good once it's done. Hopefully it works good, both clock and radio. And so let me get that thing polished out with some Novus and see what it comes out looking like. Okay, I got it polished up as good as I'm going to get it. As the old saying goes, far from perfect, but perfect from afar. Applies as far as I'm concerned. It's got a nice shine to it. Obviously, it's like a 1963 radio, and therefore it's not going to be perfect. But good enough for who it's for, which is me. So, alright, now let's see about getting the clock face put back on this thing, and I'll get you a little closer from a different angle to see that. Okay, so this face just sets inside of here like that. The knob's go on after the glass, but obviously the hands have to go on first, and I'm going to assume, what you know they say about assuming, that this dealy bob for the alarm goes on here very first. Okay, I think it's on there. From what I can see, it looks like it's on there. Alright, so now I think that the hour hand goes on next. If I can get it on there. Yes, it's on there. Okay. So now that's on there, I think. Now, we gotta get the minute hand on here. Looks like it's on there. Okay. And then that leaves the second hand, which is this guy, which I polished up. There he goes, I think. What it has is it's got two little tabs that have to go in there and one here that has to go in there at the top, and the one on the top did not want to come out worth a darn when I put it in there the first time, or when I took it out. There it goes. Okay, so that's in. Don't look half bad. Now let's see if we can get these little knobs on here. I cleaned these up and polished them. Looks like they only go on one way. They got a little blade that goes in the slot there. Okay. Pretty much on. Alright, that concludes the clock reassembly. Now we got wires to finish soldering in the back and to get the back together. Almost forgot this knob. Goes down here. I'm assuming for the sleep timer or something, because it says 0 on this side, 60 on this side, and the word sleep, so okay. Now that's on. I thought I'd also show you the newest addition to my shop, which is actually a birthday present early from my wife. My birthday's end of the month, so she went ahead and got me this tool cart and little mini toolbox for some of my micro tools that I use on the radios to be here in the shop with me, and it's very nice. I'm very happy with it. It looks like in the video it's like a light blue, but it's actually a very dark blue, but apparently the video is making it look like a light blue. So anyway, very happy to get that. I actually 3D printed some socket holders for this in blue and white that I'll throw a couple pictures in here too real quick so you can see. I just did those yesterday. Okay, let's see if we can get these speaker wires soldered back on here, coming from the audio output transformer right there. Pretty easy to get to. For me to get in here and do this isn't the easiest in the world, but should be on there with the amount of solder I just flowed there. Let's get the second one in there. I'm going to try and stab it right in the hole on this one. The other one, the hole is kind of filled up with that black wire in there. Let's see if we can stab this one in here. Yeah, I think there's a hole. Maybe I need, oh, yeah, I think there it goes. Okay. Alright, it's in the hole. Now let me see if I can bend the tail slightly. Just gonna have to take my word for it. I'm trying to bend that wire into that hole in that tab. And I got it, so we should be good once I get this soldered. Trying to fill that hole a little bit, but I think we're in there anyway. Yep, we're good. Now we just got to get our tubes changed out. I get my tubes from Bob Dobush at ThatU-Tube. Excellent guy. Provides quick service and guarantees his tubes. See if we can get this one stabbed in there. It looks like that one leg might be slightly bent. There we go. Let's see if we can get it in there or not. Let's see if we can get it in there. Yeah, there it goes. Alright, so that one make this one the 50C5. Yep, 50C5. There's our new 50C5. See if we can get her in there. And there we go. And that should be all of them. I got two wires left. I got this one here and this one here, which are for the rear cover antenna. And I got to get the cover. I'll bring it back. Alright, so I've got the back of the radio, and this piece of cardboard that was bent basically kept the wires separated. But this is the back. It's actually in very good condition. It has an interlock cord, which it's not fantastic. It's a little stiff, but it's not horrible either. I'm probably going to try and use it to start with. But these wires go here, and this does not like a lot of movement in it. So let's see if I can kind of maybe get these things on here somehow. Put some solder on here or some heat and see what happens. Yeah, it's a hole, I think. Yeah, it's in there. Not great, but it's in there. Let's see what we can do with the white one. Man, that cardboard's being a real pain in the butt joker. There we go. Alright, they're in there. Not so happy with the green one, but the white one's pretty good. If I get the back situated a little bit better, where it can hold itself, I probably get those soldered better. Like that might work. Let's see if we can get that green one in a little bit better there without everything falling over on us. See if we can get a little more solder in there after I get the thing situated here better. If we can get it situated better. There we go. Okay. And we got a few hairs there. We can just bend back. Pretend we didn't see those. Now let's see if we get a little piece of solder in there, a little bit more solder in it. There we go. And this one maybe. If it don't pull out. There we go. Okay. Alright. Now we shall see if we can get that cover back on there. Looks like we're good there. Looks like we're good there. Get our interlocks plugged in here, I think. There we go. And that's in place, and that's in place. There we go. Alright, I think that's it. Back's in place. Alright, let's turn this thing over and put some power to it and see what we get. Okay, I got it plugged into the electronic circuit breaker. I still got to turn the circuit breaker on. That should turn that on. That should turn that on. Reset it. Alright, and I don't have any power going into it right at the moment. So I'll put a little bit of voltage on. Hopefully this thing don't go up in the smoke. I guess it'll make good video if it does. I'm going to put 42 volts on it. I don't expect to hear anything. I got the volume turned down. We won't for quite a while here, but we should see the clock motor start running. We get a little bit of higher voltage, but since I got new cap in it, some new caps in it, I want to take it up a little bit slowly. This is the electrolytic that I replaced. It was an 80 and a 40, and I think I showed you guys the pictures earlier. Now I'll put them in here, and then here's another one I replaced, 047. So take it on up. Nothing smoked. The electronic circuit breaker didn't pop, so just take it on up some. Take it up to 85. Hey, motor's running. Second hands are running. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can zoom it in a little bit. See it coming across right here? It's getting ready to go up. Yeah, I think you guys can see that. So the motor's running, so that's good. Let's take it on up to maybe 120 volts. There's 119 volts. Clock definitely running. So that's cool. Let's back it off a little bit. Let's see if we get anything out of it. I hear nothing. Wait a second, I think I hear on now. There we go. heard the alarm trying to go there for a second. There we go. Well, the alarm apparently works. Probably just out of sorts. Probably need to let it play for a while. I mean, as far as playing alarm for a while. Maybe the switch might not be that great. Alright, well, obviously the radio's not playing. I haven't tried to align it. I really didn't change anything to cause it to need to be aligned, per se, because there's not much to this thing. But it could very well have silver mica disease. And I don't know how willing I am to jack around with this one anymore, because I'm not a big fan of these. That's one of the reasons I wasn't even going to record what I had, because I'm not a fan of this radio. But I figured I'd never done a clock radio before. I wanted to at least try the clock, and the clock's working. I don't know how accurate time is, but the clock's working. So that's good. Got a slight amount of hum to it, but I put back in it what came out of it as far as the caps, the electrolytic. So I don't know. I may try to line it. I'm not sure. I don't even think it's worth putting a Bluetooth in it. I might just stick it up there on my dresser and have the clock. So anyway, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. But boy, you guys are crooked. Well, I think that's where I'm going to call this one, because like I said, I don't know that I want to spend a whole bunch more time on it. But this looks like you can set the alarm there using the thing on the back. Set the time here using it. Okay. Yeah, cool. Alright, well, it looks good. The clock works, and the alarms sort of work. I'm not too familiar with these, so I do have the SAMs on it. So I'll go through and do an alignment on it, and if it changes, I'll bring you back. I'll let you know. Otherwise, let me finish this one by saying thank you for watching Greg's Vintage Workshop, and until we do the next one, which I guess I can let the cat out of the bag real quick here. Look right here. There it is. It's a 1935 Crosley 635, if I remember correctly. So we'll take another look at that one on that video. I'm Greg of Greg's Vintage Workshop. Thanks for watching.